A very good evening. It is exactly 9 p.m. East African time. This is Look Up Weekend. I am Nancy Nalima. Our sign language interpreter is Felista Adundo. On the second day of February, the country is in agony following the explosion that has led to a lot of damage and loss. We have that story and so much more. A lot happening in the corridors of justice as well. Before we get into all of that, here are our top stories. Tonight on Look Up Weekend, 3 people die, about 200 others injured after a lorry loaded with gas explodes in Embakasi, Nairobi. The energy regulator EPRA distances itself from the Embakasi gas explosion, saying the plant was operating illegally. Pain and loss amounting to millions as victims recount a horrifying night.
The court has said that the investigations were not properly carried.
And a court of appeal acquits baby Sagini'S grandmother of grave bodily harm charges for lack of sufficient evidence. Once more, welcome to the broadcast. This is Look Up Weekend. We are live across all our social media platforms at Lookuptv on Facebook, Lookuptv on X, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. Feel free to engage with us and give your comment and your feedback. We'll be sampling some of that in the course of this broadcast. Let's begin. The Energy Regulatory Authority, EPRA, now says that the gas filling station where the explosion occurred was operating illegally. According to the police, a lorry loaded with gas cylinders suspected to be in an illegal station. It exploded, igniting the huge fire, which spread to other buildings. So far, the security guard has been apprehended by the DCI detectives in connection with the yesterday night fire.
Hours after the incident, the Energy Petroleum Regulatory Authority announced that it did not approve the operations of the LG gas company in Brady area and Embakasi constituency, Nairobi County. EPRA, through a statement published on their page, indicated the company on March 19th, June 20th and July 31st received a request to approve their license, but it was rejected after they failed to submit the appropriate documents. Nevertheless, the company did not explain how it will take precautions or deal with danger in the event of an accident occurring, according to Kenya standard laws. They also continue to raise concerns against the opening of the company, complaining that the area they wanted to put up the business was a residential area and was not safe. It is estimated that the fire started following truck explosion loaded with gas cylinders in the area of containers near Kabansora. However, until now, the NEMA authority has not provided any information in relation to the incident, as Kenyans continue to ridicule the authority for its silence. This is inclusive of the owner of the company that has led to more than 3 deaths and 200 more injured, who has not appeared nor availed any message to the related authorities. However, police officers have arrested one of the workers who was found at the scene of the incident. Ruga Eval, Lookuptv.
And we move on to the next story and an update regarding the incident. And a huge blast in Embakasi, Nairobi, has killed at least 3 people and injured nearly 300. A lorry carrying gas cylinders exploded at about 11 p.m. Thursday night, igniting a huge ball of fire housing. Businesses and cars were damaged, with video showing a huge blaze raging close to blocks of flats.
11:30 p.m., a few minutes before midnight, a disaster that will change the face of this area struck. A gas refill station exploded, throwing everything around it into flames. Property worth millions destroyed. Cries of distress heard. as the area burnt into a non-luminous flame. Hours later, these are the remains. Vehicles, now a wreckage. The impact of the fire evident with the houses burnt to the ground. Victims of the deadly inferno narrating their ordeal.
Okay, ilikuwa usiku kitu saa 5 hivi, nikasikia manduru huku nje, watu wakipiga kelele. So kutoka nje nikaangalia huku na huku, nikaona kuna moto inawaka. Nikateremka chini mbio. Kufika hapa chini nikasikia wamama wakiongea, huku ndio kulilipuka na huku. Kakimbia kule mpaka Utawala. Ndio tukarudi asubuhi.
Samson's house was this square room next to the station. His entire wealth reduced to ashes.
So after tulimetoka hapo nje ndio tukasikia gas inanuka. Unaona? So by chance tu Mungu akasaidia, mimi nikaamua nikuje nichukue mtoto wangu. Niko na mtoto na niko na bibi yangu. Nikaamua nimchukue. So nikampeleka kwa rafiki yangu. So wakati nilikuwa narudi, nilikuwa nakuja kuchukua hata simu yangu, ndio nipigia watu. Hapo kulikuwa too late manze. Nyumba ilikuwa imesha chomeka, vitu zangu zimechomeka. Nilikuwa nafanya kazi online. So mimi sikuwa na kazi yote, nilikuwa nafanya online. Sasa ukiangalia mashini zangu ndio hizi chini hapo.
He says he is lucky to have saved his family and himself. As he takes us on a tour of what used to be his house, what this house was is just a memory to him now.
Zikachomeka, hizi zimebaki ni maji ilikuwa ndani. And then kutoka hapa mpaka hapa ilikuwa kiti. Hapa kando nilikuwa nimeweka manguo zangu hapo, manguo na zangu za brother yangu na za bibi yangu na mtoto, zote zilikuwa zimewekwa hapo. And then here kulikuwa na bed. Ilikuwa nimeweka bed kutoka hapa mpaka hapa. As you can see hizi za net. So from there kutoka hapa mpaka hapa nilikuwa nimeweka kameza kuweka kama naweka vitu za kupika, naweka kama kama gas nilikuwa nimeweka hapo. And then saiba yangu nilikuwa nimeset hapa. Unaweza ona hata maskrini zangu ndizo hizi hapo. So hapa ndio ilikuwa ofisi yako. Hapa ndio ilikuwa ofisi yangu. Hapa ndio nilikuwa napata cha kukula, cha kulipa rent, na as you can see vile vitu ziko saa hii, mambo imeenda mrama.
Josephine is nursing wounds which she got as she was running for her life.
Nikitoka kwa nyumba nikiteremka, moto iliniangukia. Ndio nikachomeka. Na hii mguu nyingine pia. So umechomeka miguu zote mbele? Lakini sile sana.
Close to 70 meters away from the scene and on top of this 5-story building sits another wreck that flew up here, destroying this particular wall. The impact of the fire last night evident with the destruction that has happened in this area of Embakasi in Nairobi. Residents who've lost their property calling on the government to assist in any way they can. Brian Amwai, Lookuptv. Nairobi.
Baby Sagini'S grandmother, Rael Nyakerario, has been acquitted by the Court of Appeal, saying the prosecution failed to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. Nyakerario was imprisoned for causing grievous harm to a 3-year-old baby Sagini by gouging out his eyes. The Nyakerario, Pacifica Nyakerario and Alex Ochogo were arrested and charged with a grievous harm on the 14th of December 2022.
Kuwait has been termed as one of the horrific cases to ever happen in the country of baby Sagini, where his eyes were gouged out on December 14th, 2022, and thrown into a maize field has now found its way back to the headlines after Justice Kiari Waweru acquitted baby Sagini's grandmother, Rael Nyakerario, saying there was not enough evidence to prove the accused was involved in the act.
Mungu anasaidia mimi ni kivyose.
Rael Nyakerario, talking to the press after being acquitted by the court, she thanked God for her answered prayers because she was not involved in the act.
Mungu anapeleka wewe. Anakusaidia. Mungu anasaidia. Ile na mtoto ile ni mzuri.
Rael's lawyer, Okerosi Ondieki, asked the people to receive Nyakerario in the society and not judge her because the court has proved that Nyakerario was not guilty.
The court has today come out clear and said that there was no evidence at all against the accused person. One of the witnesses alluded to the fact that she assisted the principal offenders after they had finished, to conceal evidence. But even that one, the court has said that the investigations were not properly carried to show that she actually participated even in the concealing the evidence in this matter. And you can see the old lady is how old? She's 8 years, and she looks happy, she looks set. We are going to see how she's going to be integrated into society.
Ebikadinyi, Lookuptv.
Away from that, Nakuru Senator Tabitha Karanja has today come out and denounced the current ownership row witnessed at the War Memorial Hospital in Nakuru County. Tabitha is now calling on President William RUTO and the related state agencies to intervene in order to find a lasting solution, holding that according to the court's notice and the original documents available, the ownership of the hospital is under private ownership. Our very own Stanley Lugaria with more.
The battle for the ownership of War Memorial Hospital Nakuru now seems to be taking a new turn after Nakuru County Senator Tabitha Karanja intervened in the dispute between the private owners of the hospital and the Nakuru County government, and now wants President William RUTO and other relevant state machineries to intercede and ensure that the hospital is completely returned to the private management. According to the Nakuru Court Judge Anthony Ombaya's order, the area police commander Samuel Ndanye should oversee the process, awaiting mentioning and hearing of the case on 5th of February 2024.
All they want is to grab the War Memorial Hospital land. I call upon President William Samuel RUTO and the National Land Commission to protect this land and premises from these robbers.
During a press briefing held on Friday, Senator Tabitha emphasized that the court ordered the county government to stop interfering in the hospital's affairs, stating that hours after the police implemented Judge Ombaya's notice to restore order and ownership of the hospital on Thursday, the hospital management under the stewardship of Patricia Musale claimed that it was captured hostage by goons who had camped outside the facility during the process conducted by police officers, seemingly acting on orders from the Nakuru County government, which led to more than 300 hospital workers fleeing for their safety.
The people of Nakuru are asking, what is going on? Are we in Kenya with the rule of law or some banana country? Patients. The hospital management sought police assistance to remove the goons that were not given. As we speak, the hospital is under the control of armed criminal goons hired by the county government of Nakuru.
Tabitha now wants the government agencies to move in swiftly so as to control the current tense situation, explaining that following the invasion to take ownership of the hospital by force 13 days ago, saw an incident that led to the removal of patients from blood dialysis machines, with 2 patients reported dead already.
Important to note that when the county government invaded the hospital, patients were forcibly removed from the dialysis machines and others from ICU. 2 of these patients died shortly. All they want is to grab the War Memorial Hospital land. I call upon President William Samuel RUTO and the National Land Commission to protect this land and the premises from these robbers.
In addition, Tabitha maintained that the lease term of the 25-acre farm where the hospital is located ended in 2021, and the hospital reapplied and was given another 50 years lease.
I don't think there is anybody, we can't say that there is anybody protecting. It is the governor. The governor has a lot of power. She can command anyone around, and especially if you don't follow the law.
Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has said the government will take care of the challenges affecting young girls in society, including FGM and early marriages. The Deputy President, who graced the hall of Isiolo Girls High School for a fundraiser ceremony, said girls and boys have an equal opportunity to contribute to the social and economic development of the country, but girls are more vulnerable and susceptible to unique challenges.
In this semi-arid land, most girls face teenage pregnancy, harmful socio-cultural practices like female genital mutilation and early marriage, drug and substance abuse, sexual abuse and violence, among others, that impede access to education. In Isiolo, teenage birth rate remains high at 18%, with girls between 10 and 14 years giving birth and dropping out of school. In spite of the interventions of adding FGM by 2022, it is saddening that more than 65% of girls between 15 to 19 years have undergone the cut. This is against a national average of 21%. FGM triggers early marriage after this forced transition. It will deprive the girls of their childhood as they start a prolonged, miserable adult life which they are not ready for.
And then we take a very short break here on the program. I see the comments are coming in fast and thick. I'll be sampling that when we come back from the break. Don't go too far.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection. Added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park, fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Tere, mambo ni mawili: kufikisha, kumwaga na kurudi. Kulala ni mwaka mpya.
Muka we msee. Ni mbaya. Wewe kwani uone vile dereva anaendesha gari vibaya? Lazima tususe. Anaendesha gari na kwa simu the whole time, hata angalia barabara. Msanii dereva tusimame. Wewe dereva wewe. Mwaka iliyopita peke yake watu zaidi ya 3,000 walipoteza maisha yao barabarani kwa sababu ya tabia kama hizo. Hautatuangamiza tukiona.
Naomba msamaha, nitampeleka vizuri.
Si wameomba msamaha. Sasa twende tusafiri kwa mwendo wa aste.
Dere Smart hufikisha abiria salama. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na NTSA kwa ushirikiano na European Union.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with Look Up Weekend. Nancy Nalima here and Felista Adundo on the sign language interpretation. Now in the corridors of justice, the High Court in Nairobi has already sentenced former police officer David Mongela to 15 years in prison for the murder of Ahmed Majid in 2020. While giving the ruling, Justice Ogembo noted that the accused was not remorseful for his actions, despite the court providing beyond reasonable doubt that he murdered the deceased. There's more stories in the corridors of justice.
A low-spirited David Mongela tries to hide his disappointment after the High Court served him 15 years behind bars for the murder of Ahmed Majid on January 16, 2020.
Considering the circumstances of the case, I am sentencing him to serve a period of 15 years imprisonment. Of course, he has his right of appeal.
On the fateful day, the deceased is said to have made his way to a police station to inquire the arbitrary arrest of Yassin Athman, who officers alleged was found in possession of bang. Mongela then shot him 3 times and he later succumbed to his injuries.
You told me you understand English?
Yes, my lord. Not guilty, my lord.
Elsewhere, John Matara, the main suspect in the murder of socialite starlet Wahu, has been charged with murder after investigations were completed. Matara appeared before Milimani High Court Judge Kani Kimondo today, where he pleaded not guilty to the accusations. This, as the Director of Public Prosecutions, is set to file an application to deny him bail. The case will be mentioned on February 26th.
Now, the Protective and Safety Association of Kenya, PROSAC, has asked the Interior Ministry to halt the reforms in the sector, which seeks to increase the salaries of private security guards up to 30,000. Speaking to the press in Nairobi, the employers have opposed the proposal given by the council, saying that the industry will be more affected and 700,000 people may lose their jobs.
He gets a board. In the absence of him having a board, and in the absence of the Act having regulations, the Cabinet Secretary should be busy with the Parliament to ensure regulations are approved. Public participation is a must. You'll have to listen to us. We all talk the same table. Until the regulations are approved by Parliament, until Fazul has a board, he must stop recklessness or must be stopped. And I want you to understand as well, we have no problem with the regulator. We have no problem with being regulated.
Food Industry Association has over 100 companies that employ more than 20,000, not even more than 50,000 security officers. The same applies to Protective and Safety Association of Kenya. So, in that sense, we are the biggest associations that provide jobs to our staff. Just to avoid enough down, there are things that we need to clarify. Number one, we love our staff. There's that notion that people have created that we as employers, we don't love our guards. We really love our guards because they are the guys who are on the ground. They are our foot soldiers. So somebody cannot come and allege that our staff, we have no welfare for them. Secondly, with the issue of if implemented, we are going to lose 700 jobs. 7,000 jobs. 700,000 jobs. Now, if these guys are going to lose 700,000 jobs, my colleague will tell you very clearly that these guys know security. They are going to become what? A security risk in the security industry. We are concerned that a few players have come.
And professional security. As we learn, professional security is not watchmen. So when the things are being said or being done, there are things that being separated. The ones that should come to us are for professional security team. But for the watchmen, we are not even aware, we are not even involved, and we don't want to know. So that we don't want to be treated like any other employer in the Republic of Kenya. We are equal employer like Equity Bank or Safaricom. We are equal. We have seen people living at those institutions and coming to us to ask for employment. Even you where you are seated, you never know and you don't even know if tomorrow.
More than 33 people have been arrested by the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse for selling and drinking fake alcohol in Mosoriot area, Nandi County. More than 300 boxes of fake alcohol were seized in a search led by Nakada Director James Kosgei, aiming to end illegal alcohol distribution across the country. Beatrice Kageha with more.
As the government continues to wage war on drugs and substance abuse, 33 culprits in Mosoriot in Nandi County have been arrested during a crackdown that was conducted by Nakada officials in collaboration with security officers in the area. The exercise, which was led by James Kosgei, the Director of Compliance and Enforcement Nakada, seeks to eliminate manufacturing and selling of illicit and counterfeit alcohol in the area.
Sheria ya Mtudho Law iliweka vidhibiti kamili ya kuweza kutengeneza pombe, na vidhibiti hivyo tunaweza kutekeleza sisi wenyewe tukiwa multi agency katika serikali kuu. Haijaruhusu pombe kiolela itengenezwe. Kwa hivyo wale ambao wanaenda huko nje ni wale ambao wanavunja sheria, na tutaendelea kufanya msako.
The exercise, which involved different agencies from government and leaders from the area, saw over 300 cartons of counterfeit alcohol nabbed. The OCPD for Chesumei, Cyrus Kiogora, who took part in the raiding exercise, cautioned residents from consuming cheap alcoholic drinks, terming them as health hazards.
Kama ni mtu wa KFC anafanya sehemu yake. Sisi kama ni polisi tunaposhika tunahakikisha kwamba tumeta watu wa KFC tunapeleka kwa government chemist ndio tuweze kujua hakika ni pombe ina gani.
Shadrack Tarno, the chairman of Nandi Civil Society Network, strongly condemned individuals who engage in manufacturing of substandard alcoholic drinks, vowing not to stop the fight against illicit brew.
Hizi mastika ambayo imepatikana kwa pombe kushi, utakuta kwamba KPS hawajachukua hatua, na isisemekana kwamba hawajui, wanajua.
Efforts to eliminate manufacturing and consumption of illicit brew have been ongoing across the country, with different stakeholders in government joining hands to curb the menace caused. Residents have been called upon to report anyone found taking part in the exercise. Beatrice Ilavonga, Lookuptv.
And away from that, 5 children aged between 10 years to 3 months in Madidi village, Vihiga County, have been rescued from their mother, Belisi Iela, who has been depriving them of their basic needs, including education and healthcare, due to her religious beliefs. According to neighbors, they have been witnessing suspicious activities in her house, and their efforts to intervene have not been successful.
Mama mwenyewe anaitwa Belis Eyale, ako na miaka 28. Na hawa watoto ni watoto 5. Mtoto wa kwanza ako na miaka 10, mtoto wa pili ako na miaka 6, mtoto wa tatu ako na miaka 4, mwingine ako na miaka 3, na mdogo kabisa ako na miezi 3. La ajabu ni kwamba hawa watoto wote hawajaipeleka hospitali kupata chanjo yoyote ile. Na ukiongelesha mama anaonekana ni mtu wa informed. Kwake kuna TV, kuna radio.
Mume wangu yeye ndio mwanzilishi wa hii imani. Akakuja kuniambia hapa penye tumefika saa hii, kulelewa kwa uchafu wenye unaonekana saa hii. Afadhali tumfuate Yesu kuliko tujitie unajisi wenye uko kwa sasa hivi, uzuri ambao serikali inasema. Lakini kufika 2019 kama mtoto wangu wa kwanza huyo nilikuwa sasa ndio nitaka kuanza kumpeleka shule, kukatangazwa kuwa masomo sasa inabadilishwa, yale ni yalikuwa mazuri yanawekwa yale masomo ya kuharibu watoto ambao mojawapo ni sex education. Some sex education wakiwa wadogo. Imani yangu inajenga kwa sababu naishi tu kwa neema. Kwa wakati inasemekana lazima nipeleke mtoto hospitali ndiye akue healthy, na mimi nikajaribu nikaona sijapeleka mtoto hospitali na wako very healthy. Kumaanisha sasa Mungu yupo na ninamwabudu hata mahali penye.
Now, 14 suspects involved in theft in Kakamega County have been apprehended by police officers, seizing items including TVs, generators, doors, and other essential commodities. The mastermind was arrested in Shaviroti village in Shinyalu while fleeing. There's and more stories in a county roundup with Lona Ombuye.
The thieves' days in Kakamega County were finally numbered. 14 suspects involved in the theft were apprehended. The mastermind was arrested in Shaviroti village in Shinyalu with resident Loudin. The efforts by the police for spearheading the operation, further confiscating marijuana worth 10,000 shillings.
Leo hii jana usiku assistant chief na OCS ya timu yake na nyumba 10 wamekuwa patrol na wakafaulu kushika vijana 14 ambao walipatikana na vitu ambazo ziko sorted na ziko pale hata na zile taarifa ambazo natumia.
Elsewhere, religious leaders from the Catholic Church have asked the government to initiate the process of appointing new commissioners of the IEBC Commission to close on the gap. Led by Bishop Martin Kivuva of Mombasa, the leaders emphasized that the lack of the IEBC commissioners will make the country suffer a setback when the election time comes. Further, they have asked President William RUTO to resolve the controversy between the government and the judiciary to improve the performance of the two departments.
Ni jukumu la washikadau wanaohusika na hasa rais na wenzake na wale wanaohusiana na mambo ya kuteua na kutayarisha jambo hili. Bila IEBC tutajikuta tuko ukingoni wa karibu na uchaguzi, na hata kuna sasa sehemu mbalimbali ambazo zinahitaji kufanyiwa uchaguzi, lakini jopo hili ambalo ni la kazi yake ndio hiyo IEBC, kama hawapo hatuwezi kuappoint commission.
Finally, Julius Kinyumu, a student from Kisii County, got a great opportunity to join secondary school to continue with his studies. Julius, who was despaired to further his education due to school fees constraints, saw the former Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko coming to aid with school fees, uniform and basic products to enable him to join high school.
Nilikuwa nasomea shule ya msingi ya Isa. Nilipata 347 marks, lakini sikuwa na school fees, ila Mheshimiwa Sonko amenisaidia sana. Nina furaha kwa kuwa saa inaweza ingia.
Lona Lorena Mbuya, Lookuptv.
Time now for some sporting action. Han Maridal from Norway will compete among the best athletes in the country, including Lilian Kasait at the Siriko World Cross Country Tour tomorrow in Eldoret, where 500 athletes will participate. Danny Ebenyo will be having Tanzanian John Nahe in the race. Ebenyo will be using the race as one of his preparations to compete in the upcoming competitions set for this year.
Tomorrow I hope to, there's a lot of local heroes here in Kenya, so I will have the opportunity to compare myself to them, but they're running really fast, so I hope I will be satisfied with my result anyway. So I'm using this race to be a better version of myself and compare myself to the Kenyan athletes.
I'm Lilian Kasait Rengeru. My preparation to this cross country, I've prepared and I'm hoping for the best. Yes, I will use this cross country as other people also used to catch themselves to prepare for forthcoming cross country, world cross country. Yeah. Competition will be amazing. Yeah, I can say it will be amazing. It's good to race against the international athletes. Yeah, I'm expecting a good course. As also you know, cross country have some challenging in the course. Yeah, everybody knows that.
A matter of improving. I've been improving every day. It's a matter, just tomorrow it's a matter of running, and it's a matter of working hard because we have a strong field. I'm just going to try my best.
The 34th edition of Africa Cup of Nations AFCON competition is in the quarterfinals. DRC Congo will face Guinea starting from 11 p.m. tonight. On Saturday, Ivory Coast will host Mali, while Cape Verde will tackle South Africa. The winners will qualify for the semi-finals. And we've come to the end of the broadcast this evening. David Mudomi across Facebook says, number one TV station in Kenya. Thank you so much. And Joshua Kamal says, number one TV station in the 254. Thank you so much. Joseph Manyi says he's watching from El Bagon. Thank you. Mataba says, Wood of Kilimani. appreciate you for being part of the broadcast. And of course, Sally right there says, watching. Thank you for being part of the broadcast this evening. I am now seeing Lema, our sign language interpreter, is Felista Adundo. Keep it right here on Lookup TV and for catching the latest updates and stories that are making headlines across the country. www.lookuptv.co.ke, our website, is where you can catch the latest. For now, though, it's goodbye. And don't forget to take care of yourself as we usher in the weekend. Good night.